Hi, Christian, and welcome back. Now, let's nail that next interview you have for a new job. I'm going to use 5 formulas, and these 5 formulas will allow you to nail the next job interview you have. I'm going to combine them all into one example, and they will make up one exercise. If you want to follow, please download the exercise files on the link below. So which formulas are we going to use? We're going to start off with VSTACK. VSTACK will allow you to combine data into one sheet. After we've used VSTACK, the second one will be the unique formula. What does the unique formula do? It allows us to extract all the unique values out of a set of data, for example, product names. We will then use this unique list of products in a drop-down list so we can select one of these products to use in the next formula, which is the filter formula. With the selection out of the drop-down list, you can now filter the data into a separate sheet apart from your original data, which might be on a different sheet in your file. Once we've done that, we might not be interested in all the columns. So we're going to combine it with the CHOOSECOLS formula. The CHOOSECOL formula will allow you to only select certain columns out of the filter data that we've extracted. And then the last one we will combine it with is the sort formula. Once you've created this unique drop-down list, filtered the data using the drop-down, then choose only specific columns with the CHOOSECOLS formula, we will now sort the filter data. All one unique example. So let's nail that next job interview. There's one set, another set, and a third set of data. What I would like to do is to combine, first of all of this into one table. And as I update or add any new data to the bottom, it will update the combined list as well. Let me show you the final product. That will give you a better idea of where I'm going with this. So I've got the 3 sets of data. I have converted them to tables. I've added them all into one combined table. I then use the unique formula to get a list of all the unique countries. And from there, I then create a drop-down list with the unique countries. And using whatever I select from there, it will then filter for me this combined list showing only that specific country. And with the CHOOSECOLS formula included, I will then only show the product as well as the boxes sold. You will find this exercise file in the link down below. First of all, I'm going to copy the original data. I'm just going to make a copy of the sheet. I drag the sheet to the side, press my control key, it gives a little plus sign, it makes a copy. Let us first create the tables. So I'm going to click inside the data. I'm going to go insert. I'm going to go table. It's going to ask me to confirm whether I have headers, and I click OK. Now the shortcut for this is Control T. So I'm going to click in the next set of data. I'm going to go Control T and create the table. Do exactly the same in the last set. Click inside, Control T, and create a table. I'm also going to give these tables unique names. So if I click in the first table, you will see in the table toolbar at the top, on the left-hand side, it automatically names the table. Let's say sales 1 data and enter. Click in the next table. Let's call it sales 2. Enter. Click in the third table and let's call it sales 3. What I'm going to do next is to combine these tables in one table using the VSTACK formula. A good tip here is to just take the headers of one of the tables, control copy, and paste it where you want to create the combined table. So I'm going to start off with equal VSTACK. And all it wants to know from us is provide me the different tables. So I'm going to the first table. And what you do is right in the left top corner, you move your mouse and you get a 45-degree arrow. You select that. You will see in the formula bar, it adds the table name. I go comma, I go to the next table, select comma, go to the next table, and I close my bracket. And there I have all the tables combined into one without having to copy and paste. The added benefit is, let's say, for example, I go to the bottom of the first table and just add a random name. Let's just call it AAA and country AAA and product AAA. Let's give it a date. Any date doesn't matter. Let's say 100 and 100. If I now go to the right-hand side to the combined table, I scroll down, you can see that it added that specific row into the combined set of data. The next thing I would like to do is create the unique list. I'm just going to give it a heading, and I'm going to use the unique formula. I'm going to say equal unique, and it wants to know the unique of which column. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click in the first country, Control Shift down all the way down, and to provide for any new data that might be entered, I'm going to go right to the bottom of the table and close my bracket. Now you might say that is a bit of an overkill. Yes, it is. But what you can do is there's a unique feature in Excel as well where you can select only the cells with data inside. So it will not go all the way to row 1 million. So what you do is after your semicolon or your colon, you just put one full stop or point, and now it will not go all the way to the bottom when it creates a formula. It stops right at the last cell. The next thing I would like to do is to create a drop-down list using these unique values. So I'm going to click in the cell. I'm just going to say drop down. So I'm going to create a drop-down list. So I'm going to go to data, data validation, and lists, and equal the first cell with the unique values. Now, since that list is a dynamic array, which means it will automatically grow as I add more countries, at the back of this source, I also then add a hashtag, which will then automatically select all the values. We can test that, and perfect. The next thing now I would like to do is to create my filter. I want to use whichever country I select to filter out the data from the VSTACK data set. So I'm going to start with filter equal filter bracket. It wants to know which data do you want to filter. So I click the first cell of the combined VSTACK data, and as it is a dynamic array, I will use the hashtag again. I'm going to say filter this for me, comma. Now it wants to know filter what? Filter for me the geography. Click the first cell, Control Shift all the way down, and wherever that geography country equals this specific cell. And it works perfectly. But keep in mind, in the first cell, I only went down to AB91. Now remember the VSTACK range, because that is my VSTACK range, could go all the way down. So I'm going to use the same method I've used before when I created the unique value, is to say go all the way down to AB. Let's, for example, say to 20,000.
and also use the full stop so that it actually stops at the last value, and enter. And now, because of adding the full stop there, I've provided for future values as this table might grow. The next thing, what I'd like to do is take the filter data, but only provide for me the country, the product, and the boxes. So that would be column 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I'm also going to combine this with the CHOOSECOLS formula. CHOOSECOLS wants to know which data. I've already provided that. Comma, bring back only the second column, the third column, and the sixth column. And look how great that formula works with the CHOOSECOLS. You can now specify only what you want to see. And the last thing I would like to do is to have the products sorted. So I take the result and I combine that with the sort formula. I'm going to say sort all of this data using the second column. And now I have sorted the second column as well. Let's see if we use another country, if we might get a better result. Let's say USA. That's a good example. You can see it's all been sorted.
Thank you so much for watching, and please share with friends and colleagues, and do press that subscribe button and wait till the end where you will find 2 links to more amazing tips. See you next time.